Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome you to today's webinar hosted by the AHMP India Foundation. Our foundation stands as a beacon in addressing the unique challenges and knowledge gaps within the realm of healthcare marketing in India. As a non-for-profit organization, our mission resonates with the core values of inspire, innovate, transform, as we strive to elevate standards and practices within the healthcare sector. Today's session promises to be an enlightening journey as we delve into the dynamic landscape of healthcare marketing. Let's embark together on this path of learning and collaboration. Welcome to AHMP Dialogue webinar series, everyone. Now, let me introduce you to our eminent speaker for today's AHMP Dialogue webinar series, Dr. Urvisha Ram. Hello, ma'am, and welcome.
Hello, hi. Thank you.
Yes. So today's topic is leadership challenges and opportunities in healthcare research marketing, driving growth and impact. So, ma'am, it's over to you now. So please carry forward the
Yeah,
session. Yeah.
yes. Thank you, Krisha, for this opportunity. So, yes, actually, it's a great to have me here, and very good evening to each and everyone here. So, yes, today's topic is about, very interesting topic in current trends, where we talk about the leadership challenges and the opportunities in the healthcare research marketing. So before that, let me give a little brief about myself. So yes, here I am myself, Dr. Urvisha, and if I give a very little time of I will take in introducing myself. Yeah, so with experience in the hospital sector, from administrative to the kind of research and development, and currently being into lead my team, and I'm founder of Passision Healthcare Solutions, where we are a management healthcare management consultants and driving into the digital platform to come into the research field where we can make some kind of a sense to the each and everyone where we can be helpful. So yes, here I am. So let's start with some kind of this discussion of today's topic. So I will start with that. Why about healthcare research marketing? What actually is about HRM, healthcare research marketing, and why we need it, and what it actually tries to convey. So when we talk about healthcare research marketing, it's going to bring some kind of challenges and the opportunities in the market. We need to understand what kind of R&D is going behind the marketing, as we are into a trend where each and every consumer have their own set of perspectives. They might be coming up with the new things in the market, and they might be comparing the two things which are available. So yes, the research is very core of the topic that we need to consider over here. So that is it, that we need some kind of a background check for that. We need some research into it, what we are going to provide into the healthcare sector when we are talking into a hospital sector or a pharmaceutical or XYZ into healthcare. So yes, here it is, we need to create kind of an consumer expectations. We need to provide what kind of an transparency and personalized experience we are going to give to our consumer through our marketing campaigns, or what sort of things it will goes into. So when we're talking about the challenges and the trends, it will always be giving some kind of an challenges to talk about. But yes, challenges will also give a kind of an opportunities to grow. So that opportunities will lead into the innovation and the growth in the future, which will give ultimately will be helpful in improving the patient outcomes and advancing the field. Yes, this is some kind of an introduction about why healthcare research marketing we are talking about.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So beginning with the session, I would like to ask my first question to you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So can you please explain the current landscape of healthcare research
Yeah.
marketing?
Yes. See, the good thing to ask, about talking about the current landscape we are talking about. See, earlier the landscape when we're talking about the healthcare research marketing is, it's very bit kind of a barrier line of a thing when we think a perspective of it. So earlier when we used to practice the similar kind of a thing, it was, when we think it is a mass marketing kind of an approach where we used to consider the group of people for some kind of an activity to be planned for a healthcare sector, for a hospital is specific. So now when you're seen in the recent time of the COVID, many of the things have been changed. The perspective of the people have been changed. The marketing perspective have been changed, right? So that is the one landscape when we can talk about the HRM in the healthcare research. When we talk about the research thing, we need to go to from mass perspective to a more specific approach. Where we can cater to the specific personalized communication. We have seen that earlier some image kind of and marketing used to go, but now to image catering to we goes to a service kind of and thing where we provide some kind of and personalized communication to the subject where they can transparency can be built and that confidence can be built. Yes, this is where I am coming for in health, kind of a subjective thing. It's a very subjective matter where we are talking about. So it's a kind of a one measure to the other measure when we say one measure for all and one thing for all. And yes, this is a one kind of a landscape we are talking about, where we were ignoring the market. Earlier, the data were not we were talking about, but now currently we need to talk about, we have AI, we have the digitalization coming up, so as the world is talking about the chat GPT or some kind of another platforms of it. So now people are aware what kind of digital platforms are, what kind of marketing they need, what will be attracted to them. This is the thing which people are, into it. So these are the current landscape we are talking about in the even in the healthcare, so that is where it is needed. We need to go to the approach of ignoring to market to lead to the market intelligence. We need to see what kind of an intelligence feed algorithms are giving to us. So yes, that is the current landscape we need to consider.
Right. Okay. Also, can you please discuss the key trends, challenges, and opportunities which are,
Yeah.
which have been
Yes.
faced by the leaders in this field?
Yeah. Yes. So correct. So when we talk about the trends, there are opportunities and other kind of things. So if we say towards the trends for the healthcare research marketing, we can see specific now hospitals or some kind of another healthcare organization. They are working for the tailored kind of an program, where we provide some kind of we can say tailored marketing strategies. We are communication approaches. We need one-to-one communication with the patient. Now, patient want that much of the time should be given to them because it's a very subjective topic and very subjective matter to be taken into considerations. We see a lot of digital transformations are going up, digital platforms are coming up, digital healthcare, digital HRM models are coming up. So this all the things which will be catering into, and these are the trends which need to be followed. We see this all this digital platform which gave us the data driven insights, how we will optimize. So this from this data driven insight we can see, we can understand the consumer behavior. That is where we need to approach. Sometimes we lack over those things. So we need to understand the consumer behavior. We need to see those kind of data which at the end of the day will optimize our kind of marketing strategies. We need to understand what kind of data we are talking about, which patients we are talking about, what kind of behavior it is, and where we are entering into the market, how if it is not organized or non-organized, how we will be creating an impact towards it. So when there are a lot of other strategies working, when we are working into the transparency and everything, as you've always seen that after the COVID, there have been into input of telemedicines, that within 2 years of a gap in India, we can see specific in this kind of Asia specific country, how telemedicine came into a bin and delivering a services among remotely, and which is a very boon thing. A very person sitting from anywhere can consult to the doctor and their healthcare can be a catered. So these are the kind of in market which are we can say these are the trends in the healthcare research, where we can consider these are some of the trends. But when we talk about the challenges, so there are a lot of challenges also with this. So when everyone cannot cope up with the digitalization, so that is also one kind of challenges we talk about. Everyone sitting in the remote place, they cannot access to that kind of data or the internet. So one kind of challenges. So to cater those people into one sector to come into the digital and considering these things, that thing cannot be done. So these are also one kind. And following as we health, as we earlier said, is a very subjective. So following all the kind of and law guidelines, regulatory compliance to be followed, those environmental things to be followed in a one place, ensuring this all those compliant activities will be followed is also one kind of challenges. When we are working with this kind of a data driven sector where we're talking about market intelligence, where we are talking about consumer behavior, their perspective. So the data need to be a confidential thing. So the data driven insights, the compliance, the confidentially of the things. These are also one kind of challenges we are talking about. There are n number of the competitive strategies, n number of competitors we can see in the marketing field. So that are all one kind of challenges we need to consider and work upon. And yes,
Right.
opportunities, as we said earlier, that this is already going to be, one kind of a factor that, yeah, in where we talk about any kind of a field, there are a number of challenges, but those challenges will be giving us an opportunity for the innovation and the growth. And so we are going into the innovation and the growth in the very pace stage of the mind in today's sector. So, and especially in healthcare, it is very much growing in that stage, and we are very much in efforts to grow our stage over that. So when we talk
Right.
about the innovation in this market, yes, in innovation about this in marketing strategies. So using all this kind of technologies, we will able to differentiate from our other competitors from the other kind of field where we will be effectively competing with other sectors. So using this kind of field, our marketing strategies can be very well improved and we can come into a one pace. So this is where our HRM model can be very helpful. The patient engagement is one of the major thing where we left out somewhere. So leveraging this kind of digital platforms will be used to engage one kind of patients, one to end. This is the where we need our output. At the end of the day, we want the patient to go out fully happy minded, that yes, they want the trust to be gained. We want the patient to come here, they can go with a smile. And they do cater this the kind of thing. So at the end of the day, that's what we want. And using all this kind of thing, this opportunity innovation can be very well grow. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So those were like good explanations. So can you please also
Yeah.
share some real world, examples and case studies
Yeah.
which can illustrate
Sure.
these tips?
So, yeah, yeah. So, real world example, if we talk about, for example, in hospitals only, when we see there are a number of and digital platforms, there are some platforms which engage patients, to the hospital. We can say there are a number of VR channels coming up. Patient can see some kind of a demo before their surgeries. That these are the procedure to be undergone. These are the things to be gone. Transparency has been faced, that doctors clearly explained all those kind of procedure process. They've already gone through that process virtually, those things. So somewhere that helps to a patient to build a trust towards the doctor as well as for the hospital. Yes, this is the thing which they talked about. I've already seen this. I've already faced this. So that fear gets into a down phase. So this all kind of a digital kind of an invention where it comes to the model of these things, using this kind of an research method. So yes, these are one kind of a real world example that currently hospitals are using. They're adapting in this kind of an technology to use cater those kind of an engagement towards the patient. So that is very helpful and one of the differentiative factor we are coming up with, and especially in India, where earlier people we used to see that most of these things are used to be done in the abroad. They used to be, India is still lagging back behind, but after COVID, we can see there is a number of startups coming up in the healthcare. With so many of the digital solutions, digital in case of the medical devices and everything. So yes, here these are the n number of examples where we can see how people have catered into.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Can you also discuss how leaders can leverage data-driven insights to inform strategic decision making,
Yes.
and optimize
Yeah.
marketing efforts? Yeah.
Yes. So, if we talk about this, how the leaders can do. So, when we're talking about this healthcare research, the leaders or the team members who are involved in this, they can cater according to their organization, their culture, what are their own culture. They can identify what are their organization's vision and mission, what they're actually trying to cater, and how they are the differentiating factors from others. They must remain agile. They must come in with some kind of strategies. They must optimize their marketing channels, how they are catering. So optimizing all those kind of marketing channels using some kind of predictive analysis things, they can come into a picture that how they are going to cater to the patient environment or the healthcare sector. They should also see that when we have some limited, the one challenge I forgot to mention was in India, especially, we know we have a limited resources, and we also
Mm.
have limited fund to cater. So this is one of the
Right.
main limitations coming up. When every hospital or every dedicated healthcare organization might not be having that kind of sort of a budget or the resources or a human resource also. So to cater to all this kind of a new innovation, new research methodologies, they might not be able to cater all those resources. So this is also one more thing that you explain how leaders. So one thing is the leaders first they need to explain or they need to be understand what kind of a target market they are talking about. How we are, will be optimizing those kind of and marketing research adaptability. What is our current budget, what are current resources we are available. So to allocate those things in a similar place, what is available and how we will cater to those place will actually really measure how your engagement plan will be. So definitely this all the cumulative measures will be effective and will be contributing in the advancement of the healthcare innovation we are actually talking about. So I always emphasize
Right.
on one thing that when you are into this, your data driven things, your approach, that how you are going to measure might be a theoretically you might have thought, but how you are effectively doing this and how you are estimating those things will actually measure. On paper, you can write everything, but when you are practically emphasizing on those things, how you are allocating those resources and you are placing into a picture, that actually matters when you are doing any kind of marketing strategize. Because we might have thought here, many people are doing marketing, we will cater this kind of population, this will be our field. Sometimes it does not happen. You need to be strategized. You need to identify what you are talking about, what market you are choosing about, and how effectively you will be going. So yes, using all these kind of measures, your theoretical models, your practices, and using some kind of digital innovations, there are a number of into a picture as of now, and using your resources. So this all will be in place when leaders emphasize on this thing currently, and then the innovation will be very true.
Right. Wow, great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, can you summarize key insights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, this is the only thing, as I said in the leader also, he summarizing this thing when we talk about healthcare research marketing and its challenges, opportunities, and the trends. It itself, the topic itself says that, leadership in healthcare research marketing. When we say it's a very broad subject marketing when we talk about, but when we emphasize on the healthcare research marketing and we emphasize on the leadership or we emphasize on the opportunities, itself. So there are n number of the opportunities, but along with the opportunities, it brings some kind of an challenges. So initially, I can say, the most powerful tool a leader can emphasize on is data-driven insights. How you are capable of doing those insights into where you can find what actually is needed for your organization or for a number of organization you are working for. So you need to cater all the kind of an insights where actually you are working. So once your insights are into a practice, I think your informed strategic decisions come into a place. Once you are effectively working for the strategic things into things, then you have the optimizing marketing efforts. Your marketing efforts will be reduced once you know what actually you are planning. You know what actually are you catering to. You know what actually your patient outcome should be. You know what your outcome is. Once you know your end goal, you need to start up finding what can be cater into these things. So yes, all these things will bring into picture your personalized communication. You capitalize all those things and emerging opportunities, and ultimately you will drive growth once you are into plus or minus. You are working on this all trial and error methods. So yes, the leaders must remain agile and adapt. And one thing is we need to adapt to the new situations. To new things, new models, new things, and how this will be working. And we need to be committed on all these things. Every day we need to work on upon these things, that what actually is new, how it is coming up, how other has invested, or how other have they might have done anything new things. We need to be agile and adaptive. The leaders must think that what new challenges are today, and how will I will cope up with this, and how the innovation and the drive can be grow forward for any kind of an organization through my marketing channels. How my channels will be working, and how we will unlock the new possibilities, and how we will improve the outcomes. At the end of the day, your goal is how you, to the healthcare organization, you will give to them and drive any kind of a positive outbacks. So you need positive results, but for that we need to work upon, and yes, through this all things, we can shape the future of healthcare research. So this is one kind of a conclusion we can come upon.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
ma'am, for being here,
yeah,
for
yeah,
speaking on our platform. This was,
yeah,
it was great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
yeah, yes,
Yeah. So before ending this session, I would like to inform the audience about our next webinar, which is on the topic
yeah,
experiential marketing in healthcare. So, relationship is the key, right? So that's the topic. And that is on 22nd March at 3 p.m. And okay, so see you all there. Thank you. Have a good day.
yeah. Thank you. And also, I would like to extend, my heartful thank to the HMP and the entire team of the HMP to, giving me this participation and the platform, and to exchange my thoughts to this. And yes, and I wish we also have many other webinars soon. And yes, very
Yes, ma'am.
thank to you all. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you so much.
yeah.